How's it going? Mike here. I was originally going to do a review on the Nike SuperRep indoor cycling shoe, but I'm gonna skip that because everyone that has already gotten them knows about the mesh upper, the neoprene sides, the 7 bins at the bottom, and the hard plastic shell it's inside. So, but I've gotten more questions about installing the cleat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you through it because it only takes about 2.5, maybe 3 minutes to do. So let's get started with that. So what you're gonna first do is when you get the shoe, you're gonna have to unstrap everything. And then the first thing you do is you take out the insole. Pretty cool design, huh? So inside the shoe, I don't know if you can see that, but there is a little rubber foam piece. You wanna take an Allen wrench and just pop that out, get it out of your way. Right, but don't get rid of it because you're gonna need it later. So now, what your shoe comes with in a bag that's attached to the shoe is your Delta cleat and your SPD clip. So whichever shoe, whichever clip you decide that you're going to use, that's the one you want to use. Me, I use the Delta, so I'm gonna get rid of the SPD. I'm gonna take this little plate and I'm gonna stick my big hands inside this shoe and put it into the slot. Now you have to stick your other hand in there and you have to hold it in place. That's all you're doing. And once, if you're at this point already, you've probably already taken the cleat off of your old shoe. Now you take the Allen wrench, the clip and the cleat, and then you're going to lightly screw those in place. They don't have to be tight at the moment. So now that it's attached, you're gonna take your 4mm Allen wrench. It doesn't have to be one of these little fancy ones. It could be one of those little IKEA ones everybody has laying around their house. As long as it's 4mm, it's gonna work. We're gonna get this in here. Not too tight yet, because you still have to line it up. All right, so I've already cheated because I mark all of my shoes where my cleat goes in case it shifts over time. So I want to line this up. Because the Nike shoe is kind of wide, you want to have the cleat a little more this way, opposed to the way that your existing probably Peloton shoes were, because of the shape. If by pushing it this way, puts it more in the center where the Peloton shoes were, and you don't want to hit this bone on your foot on the crank arm. So at the top of the cleat, there is a little dot. If you take that dot and you line it up with the point of this triangle at the top of the shoe, you're doing pretty good. So you want to have those in line, which means that the cleat is kind of pushed off to the actual center of the shoe. The positioning of the ball of your foot is up to you, but the installation of the cleat is pretty straightforward and pretty simple. Now we're gonna get this tight. Now it's attached. So that foam rubber piece that I had you keep, you're gonna insert that back into the shoe on top of the plate and screws. Like I said, if I can get my big hands in here. All right, it just sits there. It doesn't fit in the slot totally, it just sits there. Because what you're gonna notice is that the screws are kind of long and you would feel those screws through the insole. So that's giving you a little extra added cushion in between. Take the insole, insert it back in. Make sure it's straight. Strap up the shoe. Put it on your foot, clip into your bike, do a ride. Tell me what you think. Tell me how you like them, because I really love them. I've done 2 rides and they're fantastic. All right, with that being said, this is Mike. I'm out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.